and it's pretty much adaptability to new whatever it is, new tools, new technology. And it sounds like from everybody I talk to, I don't know why, because over the past 3, 4 decades, we've introduced to society many techs. I mean, some of it was
Mhm.
very,
Yeah.
very disruptive. I mean,
Yeah.
I would remember times when you would call somebody and say, "Go to the ATM machine and get me some money," and people will freak out. You think I'm going to go to an ATM machine and get money out of the machine? Like, how does that work? And
Right.
we've gone over that. Like, we've gotten over it. It's over now. It's just typical people do these things. But this one, with this type of technology, I'm noticing a more transformative reaction or more in-depth reaction from people on it. And I don't know if it's mixed emotion between I'm scared of losing my job versus I don't know if this is going to replace me, or we've watched too
Mhm.
many Star Trek movies. One or the other. I have no
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah. Well, look, what's different this time, though, is the speed and scale of how fast the technology is evolving and how quickly it's being adopted and gaining mass adoption. That was not the case with previous tech revolutions. There was always a longer time span
Correct.
before it became, globally adopted. I mean, look at the
We were
internet.
given
It's
time to absorb it, right, Nikki?
Exactly. Like the stomach for change, there was more time. And frankly, even if you didn't adopt it, you think back to the dot-com days, right? Even if you were not embracing the internet, you could still have a viable business. You could still have a brick and mortar shop and do business. It wasn't the end of the world. Over time, it became the global standard. Same thing with mobile. When mobile came about and there were options there. What's different now is that within a month, when there's 100 million people adopting this technology and it's evolving so fast, that is an unnatural pace for human beings to adapt to. So that the speed and scale is one thing that's different. The other thing is, in previous technologies, we had to learn the technology. We had to learn how to use something. This, we're not just learning it, but we're also teaching it. And so now it becomes about the what you get out of it is what you put into it. That means you got to change your relationship with the technology, and the better your inputs, the better your outputs. And that's not something that's been the case before. And then finally, in its evolution, there's so much that is going to race ahead of where people can be, that there is absolutely truth in the idea that it will replace people's jobs. But it's also going to create a ton more new jobs, but they won't require the same kind of skills. So the question is, yes, you may lose your job. There's no guarantee that you're going to get that same job back, but it's for you to upskill, reskill, figure out how you're going to create value in this new world.
Hmm. And you bring a very valid point. Like the type of technology and where we are as a humanity are completely different. And we're teaching it at the same time we're learning it and all that stuff. But
Hmm.
I also believe that the generation that we're working with right now, the new graduates, the young kids that are going to school, the one they're entering the workforce recently,
Hmm.
they're not the same workforce that entered, not the same people that entered the workforce 20, 30 years
Yeah,
ago, right? So
that's
we've
right.
taught them, they went to school, they studied the new way, the new technology, the new tradition, the new way you work with tech, and that whole idea of adaptability, agile development. I've heard about this like 20, 30 years ago, that we need to be agile. Nothing is sticking around anyway. So we either move with time, and you're a big evidence for that, or we
Yeah.
get left behind.
Yeah. Well, I speak at a lot of universities, and one of the things I've heard consistently from students across the board lately is there's a lot of fear and hopelessness. They're really concerned about what happens when they graduate. Are there going to be jobs? What do those jobs even look like? Are they going to be able to build the skills? Will they have mentors? Will there be apprenticeship? Will How are they going to build their careers when it seems like AI is taking over everything, especially entry level? Right, because that's used to be a lot of grunt work that machines can do better, faster, and so companies are actually hiring fewer people at early entry level jobs. So what does that mean for someone graduating college? And my advice to them has been basically focus on building the skills that only humans can do, that machines will not replace. The relationship building skills, creativity, decision making, insight, perspective, like those kind of things you're always going to need. But while you're doing that, make sure you understand how you can partner and co-create with AI instead of just doing that. Like, learn that, gain that fluency of building and co-creating with AI. And finally, the third most important thing is everything is going to change so fast that no matter what it's going to become obsolete in no time. So the meta skill you need to master
Mm-hmm.
is the skill of learning. Because if you know how to learn and you are better at learning things faster than anyone else,
You
you've
win the
got an
race.
advantage. You win the race.